go.
Walk, don't run. Use the handrails. Walk, don't run. Use the handrails.
Neon Temple simulation reboot in progress. Live stream initiated. Stabilizing environment.
Okay. Last question before, or second to last question before we officially start Guild Night. Does anybody feel like they are stuck in their hacking or their career and needs a mentor or somebody to guide them? Throw your hand up. Okay. What do you got, Chucky? What are you stuck with?
Just looking to progress skills and move up. So
Okay.
If anybody wants to coach me through that.
What field are you in?
I'm a cybersecurity analyst.
Oh, no shit, huh? What like, are you blue team, red team?
Just entry level, so SOC analyst.
Okay. SOC analyst. Okay, that's what I was looking for, because like cybersecurity analyst or cybersecurity architect, that could mean anything from like I turn tier 1 tickets and then go cry in the corner to I just popped shell on a .gov domain and yeah, now I'm sending VX underground cat pictures or something, which is a thing that happens allegedly, right? Okay, so we have one person asking for mentorship. Does anybody else have any questions, asking for mentorship, want to offer mentorship? What do you got? What are you working on?
Some more towards like GRC path.
GRC?
Yeah.
Okay.
So in between jobs.
Okay. If anybody knows GRC, go talk to this guy. If anybody wants to help with SOC analyst, go talk to that guy. Good? Has anybody done any work for the temple and requires payout this week? Okay, awesome. So for those of you who are sitting at home right now and joining ahead of time, we are starting a new script for Guild Nights just to get people talking, start bringing up some of the mentorship questions, start bringing up some of the mentorship relationships. And that was something we were doing with the Undercroft. We stopped, and now we're trying to get back into it because it's good. So come on down. That is going to be an in-person kind of thing. If you do need mentorship or something like that, call it out in the Discord channel, but I am not going to hold your hand like I'm doing here. And second piece of announcement, Rab is going to be rabbing next week for Guild Night. I'm excited. You should be excited. Everybody should be excited because it's Rab talking about something. Typically it involves chainsaws. Now, is this going to be Rab or Charles Wong talking?
Yes.
It's Charles.
It's going to start with me, but I'm pretty sure Charles might take it.
Charles will emerge from his chrysalis. If you've never camped with Charles Wong, I would recommend it. It's a strange experience. So next week is going to be Rab. The week, you good? Oh, you're getting somebody a chair. Okay. Yeah, DEF CON season is coming up. If you are going to DEF CON and have not submitted a shirt order to our beloved Macho, I highly recommend you grovel before him because he's already submitted shirt orders. But if you grovel and cry hard enough, he might take pity on you. Second thing we're doing is if you're not going to DEF CON, I was going to start tonight, but I think I'm going to be fair and start next week for Rab/Charles's talk. We're going to do a thing. So the temple is paying for everybody's DEF CON swag, and that's, ooh, hang on. I got to see if it's sunny out. There's an old Southern colloquialism that if it's sunny out and there's thunder or rain, that means the devil's beating his wife. That's an old, yeah, that's an old Southern colloquialism. Yeah, can confirm for anybody who's grown up in the South. Is Huntsville considered the South? That's more like Washington, D.C. these days. Yeah, that's fair. Back. Yeah. So, with how this is going to work, everybody going to DEF CON gets a t-shirt. Anybody not going to DEF CON doesn't get a t-shirt, unless, ... From next week until the end of August, if you show up to a guild night in person and you talk to one of the Protectorate, me, Rab, Trey, or Tremere when he is not higher than Draft Balls right now, because he just underwent a successful surgery, and that right there is the face of a man who does not know that he is suffering under crippling inflation and government taxation right now, which is a face I desire, quite frankly. I wish I could be that high to not know that. So, talk to one of us. It's probably, you're not going this year, are you? No, and Tremere is not going either. So, on the week of DEF CON, you're going to find one of these two. They are going to mark down that you're here, or message us, or something, make some kind of record that you're here, and at the end of August, if you have shown up to every single guild night, we will order you a special edition Machowski t-shirt. For everybody that's getting a DEF CON swag, you get that for free. Damn. Yeah, God wants Machowski swag, so we demand a sacrifice. So with that, I do want to introduce our speaker for the evening, who, quite frankly, if God is causing rain in heaven, she is like the second in command. It is alleged that she can control the weather. For some reason, Dr. Sunny willed that it rain tonight for reasons I don't understand, probably to piss off the Domino's delivery driver. I don't know what Domino's did to Dr. Sunny, but may God and Sunny have mercy on their souls. So, Sunny, I was actually going to put this up. I feel like it probably would have embarrassed her, and she already has a pretty picture up already. I was going to put up a picture of me and Sunny. Sunny was one of my groomswomen at my wedding, actually the only groomswoman at my wedding. And she was absolutely wilding out, styling out. And for those of you who can rock like a blue blouse and a bow tie, you should consider doing that, whether you're male or female. You should also talk to Dr. Sunny about doing that. She may have some advice on that. So give a very warm welcome, round of applause for Dr. Sunny Ware.
Guys, thank you, John. It was an honor, by the way. Am I? Okay. All right, so we are going to talk about some nightmarish scenarios here. I've entitled the talk API Security Horror Stories. These are going to be actual real-world hacks, exploits that I'm going to take you through. I've also added some personal observations. I won't give any names or company names, but we'll have a good discussion together about them. So the first use case is McDonald's, and I want to say something that Derp mentioned. This is not the one that Sam Curry just published, okay? So if y'all heard about that one, this is actually Eaton's research, and Eaton is here with us tonight. He drove all the way up from Sarasota, so we're very honored that he's here. In fact, I want to also mention, after I'm done with the talk, I wanted him to come up and talk about the two things he'll be at DEF CON speaking on. One is car hacking, and the other one is, you got a talk. Okay. But one is a talk and one is at a village. Okay, so anyway, so you got that coming too. All right, so, whoa, let me move this.
You missed an opportunity to say he's a Mick researcher.
I love it. So yeah, so the first use case we're gonna talk about is an app called McDelivery. So let me tell you a little bit about McDelivery. This is an app used in India to basically pick what McDonald's food you want and have it delivered to your home. There's a whole YouTube video of this. I just sort of picked out some of the pictures that I thought were kind of cute. But anyway, that is the app that Eaton decided to hack on. So one of the things that's so important when you're doing bug bounties is to show impact. the exploit that you find or the bug that you find, you've got to be able to show how it does some kind of damage. Now, Eaton found a lot of things in this McDonald's app. I'm only going to focus on 7 of them. Only 7. I'm going to enumerate for you the 7 here, and then I'm going to go into detail about how the hacks were done in the subsequent slides. Okay? So he's able to retrieve the details of anyone's order. Now he's able to do this through a weakness called BOLA, or Broken Object Level Authorization. We'll talk about what that is in a moment, but basically he used this weakness to see other people's orders. He could track anybody's order that was on the way, so he could see it in Google Maps. He was able to retrieve and access sensitive information about the drivers or the riders. Sometimes they would deliver on their bicycles, if you can imagine that, I'm sure. He could download the invoices or receipts of anybody's order. I mean, how dangerous is that he could even see how they paid, right? Pretty bad stuff. He could submit feedback for other people's orders. He could he could change he could change the price on some of the items. So we'll get to that in a moment. And then finally, he was able to access the performance indicator reports that really only administrators of the stores should have been able to access. So let's get into the details. All right, I'm going to use my wand here. Oh, if I come up here,
You're fine.
Okay, all right. So first thing is, don't you love this animation? So this is the app, and when the order's getting made, you can see that there's a digit right here. Okay, so with BOLA, if BOLA is incremental, the broken object level authorization, you can change this digit, increment it, decrement it, depending on its size, and see if you can see somebody else's stuff. And that's exactly what happened here. Now, one thing I want to point out though, the developers for all of the test cases 1 through 10, those were just dummy, if you will, orders. But Eaton discovered all of these as well. So he needed real order numbers in order to start doing all the exploits that I explained. Am I in your way, or can you see? Okay. Actually, I think I am in your way. Let me sit down here for just a second. So how he was able to find the order numbers, he had to jump through some hoops in order to get this. So first, does anybody notice something strange about this post request? So this is going to the payment, whoops, sorry. This is going to the payment endpoint. Does anybody notice anything strange about this post? There's no body. There's no body. So this is very interesting. So in the application code, if you send a post to a payment endpoint with no body, what's supposed to happen? It's supposed to?
Yeah, it's supposed to say like, what do you want?
Exactly. It's supposed to error out, right? It's supposed to say, I don't know what you're trying to do. No, not this app. This app decided to return the entire payment object. Why does that happen? Why would that happen? Because you have some sort of if statement, and they don't do any conditions for if nothing is there, so it just falls through and continues. Yes?
So, to your point, if a web server receives, okay, nice. So to your point, if a web server receives a post, it's supposed to error out because that's not how post requests work. Was the API what was the API endpoint receive it? Like, was there some kind of logic in there where it says, oh, okay, an empty post request is a valid input, and in fact, here you go?
No. So what the way they coded it, and I'm guessing here, Eaton, and feel free to chime in. Woo! Did we lose everybody? Still online.
Praise be to Sony.
So basically, normally what?
Rob,
Oh, the servers.
Rob doesn't have an ups.
That's your server.
Oh, we don't have an ups.
We got an oops.
Why don't we have an ups?
Put it in post. Yep, everything just put on.
So normally, when you have a post body, you have a bunch of fields that have to be filled in, right? And so what I imagine happened here is the developers were expecting their happy path. They were expecting all these fields to be here, and then they do something, right? Then they process the order. But they didn't code for the exceptional path or the unhappy path. And because of that, it fell through and just continued, and it dumped to him his own payment object. So once this, and I asked him beforehand, I said, you know, you have the endpoint, you know, but basically he didn't want to fill in all the information, which I think is pretty funny. So basically you decided, well, I don't want to waste time with this, just give me everything. And it worked. Anyway, the point is, yes, ma'am.
In theory, then, if he waited just a little longer, would it have then? Sorry.
I hold the mic.
Oh, so, okay. If in theory, then, if he had done this post request, would it have then returned the JSON of an order that wasn't his, possibly, or would have just returned the order that was his?
It returned the order that was his. But once he had this payment ID, he could then, he knew the sequence. So if you remember from the first slide, we only had the number 1. So we're trying to get to a real order ID. So now he had a payment ID. He still has to go through another hoop to get the order ID, but this is the first step. But yeah, it was his payment. So the moral to this story is what? When you're hacking or when you're penetration testing, always do this. Always do the unexpected. Because you never know when, and this has happened actually, I hate to tell you this, but this has actually happened in logins as well. Yes. Yes.
What tipped you off to send an empty body to this thing? Or was it just like YOLO? Oh, okay. Thanks, Derp. I had no fucking idea. Please, tell me more.
Go ahead, Eaton.
I was lazy. I wanted a way to get the current sequence number. So I thought, post an empty body with nothing and see what comes back. And it gives you my payment object, which since there's no details, it was just a placeholder. So that's what that is in the response, just a placeholder, since I didn't provide anything. So it's technically, you can't use that object. Yeah. But with that, I now know the current sequence, so just subtract 1 and you have a different customer's payment ID.
Yeah. So once he had this payment ID of his own, he knew that he could decrement it to get somebody else's, right? So if we keep going, so once he had that payment ID, he could reuse or start, you know, enumerating, like in Burp Intruder, to get more. And he started using it against the retrieval endpoints. So whenever you see a GET for APIs that, you know, generally is going to retrieve some sort of object in your response. So in this case, he knew what the payment ID was, and he got back other people's payment objects using the retrieval GET. Once he had that, he could get their ding, 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 order ID. And the order ID then opened up a bunch of more vulnerabilities or bugs that he could then submit for. So let's see what he did. So here you can see that order ID is then plugged in on the order tracking, and you could see where in the city the order was being sent. Pretty cool. Also, he could access the sensitive information about the driver, or maybe the rider, the person on the bicycle or in the vehicle. What was contained in this information? Name, address, phone number, the license plate if it was a car, their profile picture, not the kind of stuff that you would want made available to everybody. He could also go against the email invoice endpoint, plug in the order ID, and then get a link that could download the receipt. So he could see how they paid, which store they bought the food, what they bought, etc. On the submission of feedback, since he had the order ID, he could plug that into this post against the feedback endpoint, and then he could submit feedback on an order that he did not place. And he says something here, it wouldn't be a bug bounty without a hash brown. Now, this one is probably my favorite. So mass assignment. So mass assignment is an attack where once you know all of the fields of a particular object, you then take those fields and you try to place them in a request. And normally this is a flaw because the developers have taken a database schema and they've converted all those fields directly into an object, even though they don't need all those objects on a request. So what he did was he tried to manipulate the price and found out that it worked. So of course, he ordered 100 hash browns for a penny each, because that's what you would do. But he was nice and canceled the order, didn't you? Instead of letting some poor, I don't know, Domino's pizza guy make 80 pizzas.
Who would do that?
And then finally, the admin KPI reports. So he was able to find the admin console for McDonald's, but didn't have the creds to get in. However, through fuzzing, he was able to find the KPI report. This kind of thing, this type of bug I find a lot on APIs. Basically, he has a JOT, okay? He has a JWT, he's logged in, but he's not an admin. He goes against this endpoint, sends in a bunch of store IDs, and gets back their KPI reports. That is Privesc, right? He should not be allowed to see that information. So you might be wondering, the grand prize that Eaton got for doing all this hard work. He got a $100 gift card from McDonald's in India.
Well, in that case, we got to make good on the hash brown book then. Underpay me, fuck you.
Right.
Get on that bike, buddy.
So he tells them, hey, I don't live in India. This is, nothing to me. So they ended up that he got $240 in Amazon cards, which,
That's
I mean,
Privesc right there.
yeah, anyway, nice job. Very nice job.
Macho has a question?
Oh, yes, sir.
So if they would have rewarded Eaton properly, what would that sum have been? Like,
That's a good question. What do you think, Derp? I mean, what should he have gotten for this?
For Ebola, you can get between $500 and $2,000 if you can prove impact. Where if you're modifying prices, it goes up significantly with impact. And if you're able to reverse a JWT, that's more.
I'd even, like, if you're pulling PII from Bola, that's where money comes in, because that's where lawsuits come in. I mean, it does also depend on how hard you can sell the bug, too.
Right.
Like, if there's PII, then, like, okay, bend over and grab your ankles.
Yeah.
This is going to hurt.
So I'm thinking between $5 and $10 grand is probably what he should have gotten paid. So
In addition to 100 hash browns.
I asked for a gold card.
Oh.
Which means free McDonald's for life. But
Oh.
they said no.
They said, what do you have to do to get a gold card?
Be a famous guy.
Oh,
Be birthed at a McDonald's.
yeah.
Hey, that one was legit. That lady just asked for her medical bills to be repaid, and they said no, and they wouldn't do it. She had third-degree burns. Just saying.
Always test.
Yeah.
If they had just not been stingy.
Dip your toes in the
They were
coffee.
like, "Oh my God."
Yeah, while you're driving.
So the next use case that I want to get into is a piece of software that a lot of developers use called Postman. Is Jared here tonight? No? Jared? No? Okay. All right, so Postman, if you're not familiar, Postman is a product that is used, it's like an IDE, and you can code your APIs inside of it. You can test them out. You can make collections of your endpoints. You can specify in there all of the parameters. You can hook it up to authentication and things like that. As part of the product, the Postman company generously decided to put these public workspaces out on the internet. Public workspaces are like public bathrooms. Like, this is not good. How clean do you think it's going to be? So think of this as like projects. And so what happened was this company named CloudSec, I've never heard of them before, but CloudSec, they decided to study 30,000 different Postman public workspaces to see what they could find. What do you think they found? Just take some guesses.
Cat pictures.
Cat pictures?
API keys.
API keys, yes. Exactly. So whenever you have an app that needs to make a call out to, say, Google Maps or some other API, you have to have some sort of API keys to do that. They found tons of those in these public workspaces. Now, this isn't even protected. Like, there's no login or anything. You just browse. You just browse and look. You can look it up on your phones. They found credentials for test and default logins that worked in production. Like, these are actually production creds. They found access tokens and refresh tokens that were hard-coded inside of the workplaces.
Search for IKEA and find all the Amazon.
I wanted to show you a couple of screenshots of what they found. So here's an example. This is an India wallet app called RazorPay.
It's always India.
Sorry to pick on India. I've got more to pick on later, so not India related. But username, password, right there, right in the public workspace. How about client secrets? Okay. Now, the client secret, for those of you that may not know what this is used in an OAuth flow to access ID tokens and access tokens. The client secret is to always be protected. So if you're designing a mobile app, you generally need to hide this, like in a keychain or in the secure area of the chip that's in the phone. You do not do this, okay? This is just crazy.
At least they didn't send it as a query parameter. Like, if you're gonna be dumb, don't be that dumb. Zendesk. Zendesk is a very popular support portal. It's open source. It's used by many, many companies. And Zendesk, they just had the admin creds right here, right out in the open. All right. The next thing I want to talk about, and I don't mean to bash on Postman, but there's some things that need to come out. So they're logging all your secrets, and you should know. Is there anybody in here that
uses Postman or familiar with Postman? Yeah. Okay.
We used to. My employer, sorry, just completely axed using Postman, and we're on something else now just because that's.
Of this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we're testing internal stuff.
Exactly.
Yep.
So, Postman's logging all your secrets. Basically, what this researcher did is he set up a certificate. He spoofed it to make it look like theirs, but then he was able to decrypt the traffic, and for every single request that you send, that you're sending, testing your stuff, they are sending a duplicate traffic to these two domains, their own domains. So they're basically copying everything that you are doing. It's terrible. I mean, and people, companies pay a lot of money for this software. They have an enterprise version of it. So this is something I wanted to bring out to you.
They're probably using it to train like a crappy AI LLM,
Oh,
or
yeah.
like an AI, like some model that they're probably about to release in the next year or something, and they're just feeding it everything.
They're using it to train out the
Not
Chinese.
even hard to replace either. It's cheap Pearl. You can have Claude spin one of those up in a minute.
Exactly.
500
Yeah, there's nothing great about it. I totally agree with you. All right, so now some personal observations. These are things that I've seen in my own penetration testing. So Postman also offers something called mock servers. It's a similar idea. You basically can stand up this server and you can use it to like test all your APIs and your integrations to other third parties and things like that. Whenever you're doing a pen test and you set your scope, it's important that you don't confine your scope. When you're first mapping out that app, you want to make sure that you see all the traffic. Because what I discovered was my client was sending all their traffic, including access tokens, to these public mock servers. Very, very dangerous. So, so just keep that in mind. And of course, it could also obviously lead to account takeover potential there. So in summary, we looked at McDelivery, we looked at Postman, but there's tons more stories out there and horrors that many companies are experiencing. So hopefully this was educational, maybe you learned something. Thank you for your attention. So now I have some gifts. I brought 3 books. So I brought 2 copies of my book, which if you would like, I can sign. And then for some reason, I got an extra copy of this book, so I decided to bring it. This is Space Raccoon's book that just came out. He's a big time bug bounty hunter. So I'm gonna put this one last, because I think it might be the one that everybody wants.
If you don't want Dr. Sunny's book, you suck.
It's okay. Okay, so here are the questions. The first one, what year was the Neon Temple established? Now we?
It's either 2018 or 2019.
Wrong.
Anybody else?
You push us.
2021 is the answer.
No? Because you guys were thinking
Good
about
job.
and I was in cyber camp at 2020.
That was something different. You're
Good.
gonna tell me when my own company was founded now? Stupid explain to me when my own company was founded? No.
Next question.
It was still the Undercroft in 20.
Yes.
I know because I was the bank account.
What was the original mascot for the temple? Yes.
Wasn't it a person with a suit who had like a deer head, like antlers?
That was a different guild.
Charlie Chaplin.
What was the what's the original? Yes.
You got some gold right there, Jay. You got some real gold.
That's one I wanted. I can answer the last one too.
All right. Name the first names of the 3 wives of the temple leaders.
There's actually 4 wives now. There's 4 wives.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I can for sure do 3.
Rab, I apologize.
Oh, it's okay. No one can pronounce her name.
No, there's got to can we amend that? There's got to be 4. Can she answer 4?
Sure.
Okay. You got to do all 4.
Chudiman?
Excellent.
Allison. Sorry.
She's right there.
Allison. Laura.
That's my wife.
That's the real tricky one because you've only met her once.
I don't think
She's joking.
I have met her.
No, I'm so sorry. I know what trail there. Starts with a.
It's like a blue jewelry box.
Tiffany.
Damn it. And I was like, I knew she told me.
Good
I
job.
saw it in a message once and I was like, hold on, let me go look it up.
She needs to come around more often.
Okay, so if you don't mind, I'm going to turn it over to Eaton, and he's going to tell you about his talks.
I got it.
Okay.
Right. Can't spoil the surprise too much, but earlier this year I target automakers because it's a lot of fun. They're really vulnerable. They have a lot of subdomains, and it's a lot of fun to pick on them. So earlier this year, I was searching for vulnerabilities, another big one, and one came to mind, and I eventually found a vulnerability that basically allowed me to create a national admin account, which in turn gave me access to over 1,000 dealers in the US, like full root access. Like, I use that to take over your car, access basically everything. Can't go into all the details just yet. It's still, so I submitted this to DEF CON earlier this year, and it got accepted for the main stage. And yeah, my first time submitting, so that should tell you this is really something big and special. So it's gonna happen on Sunday the 10th at 1 o'clock Vegas time. So if you're free, come on by and learn about how I did it. It's also the car hacking village on the 8th. They'll both be pretty similar, so whatever one you attend, it's sure to be a good time.
Is the stream over?
Not yet. Hold on. I want you to walk in front with the pizza.
What am I doing?
I thought he was fucking around.
Oh, okay. I guess I'm supposed to close you guys out. I got fired from my employer. I'm delivering pizzas now. So, yeah. Come get your seed oils. We're putting them down right here.
It's time to say